welcome again to another edition of my new YouTube channel. Thanks for all my subscribers, thanks for all the likes, thanks for all the comments. So guys, in this episode, we will be featuring the era of F around and find out FAFO, and following the recent elections in America, the country is widely divided. And as you all might have known by now, President-elect Donald Trump, he's gonna be the next president of the United States of America. Now, the country is really divided, and it would appear as if RACE has played has been an issue throughout this entire election. And some of the top companies in America have withdrawn some agreement that they had where they have to help minority, or some programs that will benefit minorities in the area or in the country. Now, a lot of people have come out, and they have Black Friday has just gone by, and Walmart has seen an empty shop. People decided to boycott Walmart. So we're gonna listen to what this lady is saying in regards to the
In today's episode
FAFO.
of FAFO, the CEO of Walmart and the CEO of Lowe's announced that ahead of the imposed tariffs that your boy is going to put on to the foreign countries, they're going to be raising their prices because they need to brace for what's going to come. And what's going to come is a recession. People aren't going to be buying. The prices are going to go up because they have to cover the tariffs. That's right. Once again, I'll repeat it. You pay the tariffs, not the country they're imposed on. Duh. I mean, seriously, people, you couldn't just do a little fact finding and not just listen to Newsmax and Fox for your information. You screwed yourself over. And there is so much more to come. And just about every day we could do an FAFO on the things that are happening before he's even in to the presidency. So thanks. Thanks for ruining America. I can't wait to see how great America is in a year.
So guys, you heard what this lady had to say in regards to what is taking place with Walmart, and her views on how things are going in this season of FAFO, and she explains how things are going in this season. So guys, we're gonna be listening to another clip of this era of FAFO, and we are gonna see what else this lady has to say in regards to the situation. Guys, let's have a listen to the next clip with another young lady and how she is explaining the current situation.
Having now sat with the election for a few weeks, I too am here to celebrate your conservative win. Because see, you now have both houses of Congress. Thanks to Trump, you've had the judiciary since, 2019, 2020. And now you have the executive. So you have no one to blame for things that happen other than yourselves. Because conservatives are now in charge of everything. Everything the government does or does not do is on you. And so I hope you get everything you voted for. I hope that you run a small business, and when you go to order supplies, it turns out that a lot of them either come from China or parts of them come from China, and so everything has gone up a tremendous amount, and you will find yourself in a place where you're having a really hard time making ends meet. And I hope that, you know, the thing that was saving you in terms of your health care and the health care for your kids and maybe even your spouse, it is the ACA. So that when they repeal it here in the spring, you wake up to find that you can't afford any health care at all, and neither can your kids. And I hope that when you don't want to have kids and you go in and you're like, hey, I think I need this birth control, the doctor says, you know, a 5-year IUD or 3-year IUD or having a tubal ligation, you know, those are things that will really affect your male partner. So we need to call your husband and get his permission before we do this, because you could close the window on having more children and he might not want that. I hope that if you do get pregnant, you don't end up with an ectopic pregnancy like mine, where you're bleeding out, but there's still a heartbeat. So they wouldn't be able to do anything for you in, say, Texas or Florida. And I hope that when the manufacturing job that your husband just got and that your family was really excited about, thanks to the infrastructure investments under the Biden administration, when all of those projects get canceled and he finds himself out of work, I hope that that struggling small business of yours, for whom costs have gone through the roof, is able to make it, especially since now that everybody in your community knows who you voted for, you suddenly find yourself being boycotted by some of your customers, which makes it much, much harder for you to make ends meet. And I hope that you have the money for private school for the kids you do have, so that when the Department of Education is done away with and there is no longer a requirement that every child have access to free public education in this country, that, you know, there's nowhere for your kids to go. Because without federal funding, a lot of rural schools are going to close down entirely. And they're certainly not going to have as many teachers because they're not going to be able to pay them as well. And without a private school, your kids just aren't even going to get a high school diploma. And that's going to be great for their futures. I hope that you are a long-term federal employee who's worked for both administrations and find yourself suddenly not only without a job, but the pension.
Guys, so the way how this lady describe what is taking place in America, or what is about to take place under the new administration, boy, things are looking not so bright. Things are looking not so bright. And it would appear that a lot of people are going to be facing a lot of hardship, and they won't be able to afford many of the essential stuff, both food, both medical. You hear she talk about the school teachers. You can't get your kids in school. You hear she mention a lot of those stuff. So, boy, it doesn't look good from what I'm seeing. What do you guys think? Because I hope it doesn't work out like that, and I hope, you know, that things will really turn out great, and the economy will turn around, and everybody will be benefited. But based on how this lady, based on what she has just said, it is not looking good for many people. They are gonna be looking at very difficult times ahead in the US. They're gonna be facing a lot of difficult times. But I hope somehow they will be resilient, and hopefully within the next 2 years again they'll be able to turn things around in the House or the Senate and try and control one of them, because at the moment the Republicans control everything, you have to call it. So hopefully they will get a chance to do something in the next 2 years, so that if there's anything that is being put in place, they can be able to have it blocked or taken to court, whatever it may need to be. But this is just not looking good, in my opinion, for a lot of these people. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let's listen.
You are a long-term federal employee who's worked for both administrations and find yourself suddenly not only without a job, but the pension that you have worked so hard for your entire life disappears because Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk have decided that everything you do was just an entire waste of time. And I hope that they want to do a development near your house that has runoff that might affect your water quality. But since there's no EPA anymore, there's no one to take care of that. Also, meat is going to get really expensive, because even though we produce most of our own meat and most of our produce here, not all of it, say goodbye to bananas year round. But when that happens, I hope that you're prepared for way more outbreaks of listeria and mad cow, because without an FDA to watch over large corporate farms, they can do away with a lot of safety regulations, which means our food supply is going to be a lot dirtier and we're going to get sick really frequently. I'm a vegan and I wash my vegetables, so the chances that I'm going to get something are much less high. But man, meat eaters, are you going to suffer? And that's after the cost of meat goes through the roof, because a lot of those factory farm jobs are not jobs that poor white Americans are willing to take. And we've taken all the people who wanted to do that or wanted to pick our produce, and we've put them in camps waiting for their mass deportation. So food's more expensive, you can't make money, there's no education for your kids, your husband's lost his job, and you end up with a high-risk pregnancy. And those are just the things that I can think of off the top of my head. I hope you get everything they promised. I hope that every time you see a cabinet appointment and it is someone who wrote a chapter in Project 2025, you remember Trump lying to you about how he had nothing to do with it. Since the guy who wrote the foreword for the entire project is now your vice president. I hope you get everything you voted for. I hope that you find that while they're doing away with agencies, that whole Gulf region that deals with hurricanes and mass flooding every single year, and people lose their homes every single year, you find, wow, there's really not any FEMA aid for you. And I hope if your kids were going to be first-generation college students, they suddenly can't get student loans because there's no more education funding. So they're going to have to work at McDonald's for the rest of their life. And I hope that you find that everything about your life suddenly is worse. And when you or Fox News go to try to blame Democrats, people around you remind you, this is what you wanted. You asked for this. You voted against entitlements and civil rights to try to bring down the cost of eggs, which, by the way, are going to go up. Because, again, that farm labor, you can say goodbye to it. So, good luck with your F around and find out movement, because you're about to FAFO. You're the ones who effed around. And now you're going to get everything you asked for. And there's nobody to blame but yourselves.
Yeah, I really hope that this is not a FAFO, or whatever you say, that moment for the food industry in America. Because you gotta laugh to keep from crying. If we import all these things for our restaurant, all these goods, vegetables and fruits for the restaurants, and then the solution is let's grow them here. I need you to go talk to a farmer right now, especially one who uses undocumented immigrants to harvest their fruits and vegetables, which is like a lot of them, the majority of them. Yo!
So guys, you heard what this lady had to say in regards to farmers and how it is going to affect the food industry, because a lot of their workers in those fields are migrant workers. A lot of them are undocumented migrant workers who would normally work in the field, doing whatever it is that they need to do. And if they get rid of those workers, the natives of the country, they don't really want to do that work. So that is going to have an impact on just about everything. That is going to have an impact on just about everything. So let's listen to the next clip.
Watching the election from outside America is realizing that Americans actually do want fascism. We are going back. You love to claim that you're freedom fighters, you love freedom, land of the free, home of the brave. Bullshit. Because 71 million of you voted against all of that. You voted against freedom for yourselves, for immigrants, for women, for queer people, for Ukraine, for Gaza. I feel like an idiot for believing that empathy and common sense might just beat out hatred and bigotry. Just this one time. But we have to remember that hatred won this election. It didn't win overall. I saw a beautiful quote this morning that says, "The world feels a whole lot more terrifying this morning, but I also know we have choices on how to respond, and we'll try even harder to light candles rather than curse the darkness." We should be angry right now. We should be grieving, we should be crying, we should be screaming and throwing shit. But in the midst of all of that, we also have to be lighting candles. Because as long as I'm here, and as long as you're here, I know that love still exists. It didn't win today, but that doesn't mean it won't win tomorrow. Everyone needs to light a candle right now. You need to take care of yourself, you need to take care of your loved ones, because hatred on this kind of scale wants you to believe that you're powerless, but you will survive this. You will get through this, and you can continue to love and work through this. I promise you.
Guys, I think this young man that was just in the previous clip, I think, in my opinion, he has given a good explanation as an outsider viewing the US elections. He has given a great, his insight is really good, and I have to say, yeah, he has a really, really good point. And as I said, love will take us through. We have to learn to love each other. We have to learn to love each other to fight away the hate. Yes, we have to love each other, guys. Anyway, let's listen to another clip and hear what they are saying. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments.
Bro, did you know that America does not really grow coffee beans? Yeah, I mean, I graduated high school. Why? What's up? If my dear leader puts in these tariffs, then it's going to cost more for my local Starbucks, and I don't want to do that. Okay, cool. Just don't drink coffee. I know I've never asked this before, but treat me like I'm an idiot, because I don't understand what's happening. The first time, okay, remember back in 2018 where he had that huge tax cut for the billionaires and everything, the 0.01%? He's going to do that again, but like way more. So how do you pay for that? Because it's going to add like something onto like the debt level that we have. So he's going to put in tariffs to like pay for it. So that $3 coffee you have is now going to be $4 that you have to pay. So that extra dollar, it's going to offset it. So it's going to pay for his taxes for the ultra rich. But he said he was going to make things cheaper. Yeah, I know. And you're kind of an idiot. And he's a con man. He's making things cheaper for the rich people. Not you, though, bro. Well, that sucks. If I knew that, I wouldn't have voted for him. Ugh. Do you want to go get Starbucks, though? I kind of want a coffee. I mean, we might as well go now before all the tariffs kick in. Let's go.
So this guy that we just watched, he explained the tariff in a more simplistic way so that people who had a hard time understanding how tariff works. I think he has done it in a way in which even for this people who really didn't understand, he has broken it down so that people can understand by his funny intake of the clip that we just watched. So guys, let's see if we can add another clip in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
And today we have an example of fuck around and find out on a micro level instead of a macro level. There is a notorious Trump supporter that lives in my apartment building, and I have never been a fan, but I have always ignored him. I've heard all kinds of stories of some of the things that he has said to some of the other residents in the building, particularly women. And one of my neighbors has repeatedly asked me to walk her home because she has to go past this guy's porch. His deck is outside patio. And he'll say things to her. So she's always like, can you just walk me home? Just walk me to my door so I can get past this guy's patio so he won't talk to me. So he's already established himself as a menace. He was walking around with his MAGA hat all summer long. Not a fan. He's largely left me alone because I'm giving him the chilliest fuck you vibes that I can muster. Today I'm outside walking my dog, and as luck would have it, he is approaching us on the path. We're going in opposite directions, so we're about to pass each other. So I am, ironically, playing Defying Gravity on my phone, having just seen Wicked last night. Just listening to my music, walking my dog, minding my business, just about to pass this guy. And he says, "Hi there." And I just keep walking, totally ignore him. And he didn't like that. So he decides to follow it up with, "What's the matter? You don't like me?" Listen, sir, we were coexisting. I was being civil in the face of all the comments that you have made about the women that live in this building, in the face of my friend and neighbor asking me to escort her home past you so that you would not harass her. And I have shown great restraint in not saying anything to you up until today. So you're gonna fuck around? Now you're gonna find out. So he says, "What's the matter? You don't like me?" And I stopped. I made strong, cold eye contact. And I said, "I am not interested in getting to know you because from everything that I have seen and heard, I am certain that I would not like you." And then I cranked Defying Gravity and I walked away. I didn't stick around to give him a chance to reply. I'm not interested in a conversation. A few years ago, I would have played the game, right? The game that all women know. Oh, I would have laughed and smiled and said something stupid or silly to diffuse the situation, to massage this guy's ego, to placate him. "Oh no, I'm tired, or I'm busy, or of course I like you. Why wouldn't I? Oh, you have such a cute dog." Some bullshit. But I'm not playing by the patriarchal rules anymore. I'm done. Fuck it. In the words of Cynthia Erivo, something has changed within me. You fuck around, now you're gonna find out.
Guys, do you see the length that some people will go through because of political alliances? Look at the situation that this lady has just described about what that gentleman was doing to her neighbor. And why would a man want to do that to a woman? I don't understand. Like, your party has won, so why do you still have all this animosity? You should be happy that your party has won and everything is gonna go the way that you want to go. But it would appear as if a lot of people has taken this opportunity to show a much more darker side to the person that they are. They're showing who they are. They think they're in the era where we can just do whatever it is that we like because we have a president-elect who is gonna defend us and who is sending out the same rhetoric. Sorry, guys. Like, these things are just appalling. Let's listen to another clip.
What's really been pissing me off this morning is that I keep looking at these videos of women saying, you know, you just didn't vote for Kamala Harris because she's a woman, that's why you voted for Trump. And then women down below in the comments saying, no, actually, it's just because he's such a good businessman and I know that he's going to make America great again. So we're going to break down every reason why it's a fucking sham. So the first thing I realized after looking at his business track record is that he likes to take normal things, slap Trump on it, say that it's luxury or successful, and then market it to people that don't understand that's just a sham. First up, we've got Trump Airlines from 1988 to 1992. He spends $245 on this luxury airline, which isn't really luxury, it's actually just a regular airline that has some gold fixtures up at the bathrooms. And then of course he can't make a profit, and by 1992 he falls on his loan payments, and then the airline gets turned over to the creditors. Number 2, 2006 to 2011, we have Success Distilled, which is Trump vodka. The thing is, Trump was known for, not drinking, so no one bought his vodka, and it totally... This is my personal favorite. 2005, we have Trump University. This one lasted 5 years, and then kind of had, an additional 5, if you will, but it went so wrong. Students who enrolled in this university were like, this is literally just a drawn-out infomercial, and we're not learning anything about real estate like you said we would, and then got sued for $25 million. Another favorite is Trump Steaks in 2007. Literally just mid-range steaks that he said were, the best steaks ever, and then they didn't even sell $50,000 in steaks. That's, pitiful. I forgot to write the numbers down, but he's gone bankrupt on 3 different casinos, had to file for bankruptcy. How do you, it's a fucking casino. There was GoTrump.com. That didn't even make it a year, so I'm not even going to talk about it. And then there's also Trump Water, and he had a bunch of beverages, but Trump Water was just third-party water that was bottled, and he was like, this is the purest water on the planet, but obviously it wasn't, it didn't sell. New Jersey Generals, Trump Magazine, Trump the Game, Trump Mortgage, Trump Tower, Tour de Trump, all failures. And don't even get me started on the national debt growing $7.8 trillion. So don't sit here and tell me that you voted for him because he's a good businessman. No, you voted for him because you fell for his quips and you fell for his bullying, and the most embarrassing part is that you fell for it again.
I think a lot of us are understanding that there's not going to be a find out phase, because one of the main characteristics of a cult is the inability to take responsibility or to recognize the fault of your group cult. My question is, most cults eventually end, obviously. Are we going to see an end to this? When is the end? What will it take for them to have this illusion broken? What is going to be the catalyst for the ending of this cult? Or is it going to be like Scientology? Some cults don't, or haven't yet, or have very long lifespans. So realistically, from somebody who knows more about this than I do, I am curious to know how we see this panning out. What's it going to take? Is there anything that can disillusion them, or is this just something that we're going to have to live with forever?
So guys, as you have listened to the 2 previous clips of the lady speaking, the first lady that spoke, I think she did a good job by explaining how Donald Trump, when people say Donald Trump is a businessman, she explains along the line how his finances are and the different type of business ventures that he was involved in. And I mean, most of them were failures, but yet people still look up to him as this great businessman. And it's even though he has all those business that has failed, it's that doesn't matter to his supporters. That doesn't matter, because Donald Trump has been selling an image in the media for a very long time. You understand? Remember, he was on what's the name of that show? Oh, it slipped my mind. He was on that very popular show. What's the name of the show that Donald Trump used to I don't remember, but he got popular. He was a popular person in the media, so he had a strong following to begin with, even though he wasn't politically inclined at the time. So that lady explained his business and all the failures that he has gone through, but yet people keep on saying he's this great businessman. What do you guys think about that? The lady in the next clip, what do you think about what the final lady said in this clip that we just watched, because she's saying her point of view is that there will never be a FAFO moment for those people who choose to follow a CULT, because that is like what, in her opinion, their leader is. He's the leader of a CULT, and whatever he says go. They see him as the return of the Messiah. They see him as Jesus. But guys, well, let's see how the next few years is gonna turn out. We all hope for the best because we don't want people to suffer, and we hope that some way, somehow, we can find a way as humans, as human beings, to get through this moment, to find a way to let love, like real love of each other. It doesn't matter what you are, but on the other side, they need to recognize, you understand, those palm-colored people, they need to recognize like the job that they need, the work that they need to do, to put in on their side, because the work is them that need to do the work so that things can be better. You know, you don't expect black people to be constantly telling you stuff and whatever it is. But guys, that's the end of the video now, and thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next clip. Before you go, remember to like, share and subscribe for the next video.